Hello and welcome to Face Off. Another day and more gloom on the markets. The Federal Reserve urgently injecting hundreds of billions of dollars of liquidity as nerves fray still further. Alan Greenspan, the former chairman of the Federal Reserve, has described the credit crunch as a once-in-a-half-century, probably once-in-a-century type of event. Well, Greenspan has a book to promote, but having once bestrode the world as an economic maestro, his reputation is under fire. Many critics say the credit crunch crisis is at least partly his fault. French Finance Minister Christine Lagarde yesterday told France 24 that Greenspan could have taken other decisions, and the bill is now being picked up for years of loose monetary policy. Joining me now in the studio to discuss all the issues are Max Keiser, a journalist and founder of KarmaBank.com, and Christian Stoffels, chairman of the board of CEPI, the French Research Centre of International Economics. Gentlemen, many thanks for coming onto the show. Max Keiser, we'll start with you. Is Alan Greenspan to blame?
He's a financial terrorist, Alan Greenspan. He packaged these weapons of mass financial destruction. He put them out into the derivative sphere. They've blown up, and now the United States is going to suffer horribly as a consequence. I brought something, by the way, which you won't see much longer. This is a U.S. dollar, soon to become an antique. These things are being destroyed by the billions of dollars worth every single day, thanks to Greenspan and his protege, Bernanke.
Would you go as far as that, Christian Stoffels?
No, let's not exaggerate. This might be the end of Wall Street, but not the end of America. Now comes the time of witch hunt. America is a nation of exorcists. So Greenspan has been more than the maestro. He has been the god of the past 2 decades. But now he might become the Antichrist, criticized for...
He's left heaven and gone to hell.
Antichrist, leading his folks to the hell with his false speeches. There will be trials, ideological trials. An interesting point is that those events are happening in the middle of the presidential campaign of America. And what is said, what is arbitrated during the presidential campaign leads the world for many years. So Obama and McCain have already said there will be inquiry commissions and there will be measures to...
I'm not so sure, it's a case of America surviving or not. I think there is a genuine risk that the American sovereign debt, the U.S. Treasury bond, will default. The biggest creditors for the U.S. economy are overseas, principally in Asia. They have a lien on America's economy. Through the sovereign wealth funds, they already have an into the American economy. The problem is that, again, not to be overly dramatic, but these things, U.S. dollars, which used to be capitalized by these things, gold coins, are now being capitalized by these things, bananas. The United States has become a banana republic, I'm afraid to say. And it's going down the tubes because of its transgressions. The war in Iraq, totally off balance sheet. That's a huge multi-trillion-dollar cost that is yet to hit the balance sheet. And what are they going to do when they have no money, or they keep printing money to bail themselves out? The price of oil is going to go back up to $200 a barrel, and these foreign creditors have a lien on the U.S. The U.S. is toast. It's done.
That brings us on to another point, no. Christian Stoffels.
That's
not Alan Greenspan didn't start the war in Iraq, nor did he push through President Bush's tax cuts.
Alan Greenspan needs a fair trial. Your country, of which I am an admirer, has invented the due process of law. So Greenspan will be brought to the court by Congress. There will be inquiries, ideological trial.
Greenspan didn't start the war in Iraq. However, after 9/11, he very foolishly dropped interest rates down to 1% and kept them low for a number of years, which created this huge housing bubble.
He didn't force people to take out mortgages, did he?
But his job is to create a counterbalance to what Keynes called the animal instincts.
That's the point in the trial. It is true that Greenspan lowered the interest rate after the 2002 crisis. He was praised for that. Interest rates went down to 1% in 2004. After that, when he saw the bubble exploding, he raised the rate up to 5.25%.
While simultaneously injecting money. He was expanding the money supply at the same time. The absolute interest rate is meaningless if you keep expanding the money supply. Money supply was expanding 14, 15, 16%. It got up to 18%.
That's right.
He's debasing the dollar, the currency. This is the sacred basis of America. He's debased it horribly. He's a war criminal. I agree with you. He should be taken to The Hague and thrown in jail, without a question of a doubt.
Yes.